Number 7. Her blank preaching has little effect on Milo, who seems determined to make a blank of himself no matter what she says. So if we think about what she's probably preaching, if she's preaching something, it's probably going to be good or something positive. And if we think about the effect that she intends it to have, she probably intends that it's going to have a good effect on Milo. But if we look at the second part of the sentence, it says, who seems determined to make a blank of himself no matter what she says. So that's kind of almost like make a fool of himself, or anything on the negative connotation side would work. So looking at our answer choices, we start with the second blank, and it says reprobate. So if we think about reprobate, it's probably something that you haven't heard before. It has a couple of things going on in there with prefixes and suffixes, but you should probably just give it a mystery. Then scourge. Another word that is not very commonly used, so you can give that one a mystery as well. Sarah, which, once again, mystery. Exemplar. Now, someone who is exemplary or who is an exemplar is someone who sets an example. So if we're looking for something negative, that doesn't really fit with what we're going for. Then we have itinerant, and you may not have heard of that as well, so we're going to give that one a mystery. So now we have a couple of answer choices left. So sanctimonious. You may never have seen that actual word before, but I'm certain that you've seen the prefix sanct. And sanct also is the start of sanctuary, which has something to do with preaching and everything that's good. So this would get a check from us, because that definitely goes along with preaching. Deleterious. Deleterious has the same root as delinquent, and delete is also in there. So we probably can go out and say that it has something to do with being negative, which is clearly the opposite of what we want. So now that one's out. Then we have C, which is vituperative, which I'm sure is a mystery. And E is pontifical. So that, I'm sure, is also a mystery for you. So looking at these, you have 2 mysteries here, 2 mysteries here, and 1 check. So at that point, you go with the 1 check, and it's actually our answer. And what you should be doing here is looking up all of these words, writing them down in your vocabulary journal. And what I've said in the past about vocabulary is that the act of writing it down is what helps you remember it. If you go out and buy a box of flashcards or those pre-made flashcards that are perforated and you tear them apart, that's okay. It's not going to hurt you. But if you really want the benefit of flashcards, the whole benefit of them is actually making them and writing them yourself, because the act of writing helps our brain remember. So the best case scenario is go out and buy some blank index cards, look up all of these words, and write them down.